Welcome again to the Data Stories Show with Alex Barrera, again in Las Naves. Thank you, Carlos, for your host the show again, and some kind of equipment. So, Alex, welcome again to the Data Story Show, to Valencia.
Thank you very much.
Finally, you are going to buy a home in Valencia, no?
Might happen. Once we're rich, I don't know, if someone buys the show and wants to pay us a lot of money for it, yeah, we can buy a place here.
I'm sure you can live better in Valencia than in Madrid.
Okay, to the show.
Yes.
So what are we going to talk today? We're going to kind of keep talking about interesting news that have happened in the content space. So nothing in particular, but we're going to touch on two things that we think are kind of relevant to the space. First one is Google AMP open source project. So it's Google Accelerated Mobile Pages.
You know the experience when you are, for example, in Twitter and say, wow, this link maybe it's interesting. You press the link in Twitter and you need to wait enough time for make 1 or 2 coffees for see the web. This is what is trying to solve Google with Google AMP. What is Google AMP?
So Google AMP.
This is the result, but what is?
No, it's interesting. We had no idea because you see the Google AMP thing, but they never talk about how do you implement that. So essentially, as far as we know, we haven't played with it yet, but as far as we know, it's basically an extension of HTML. So it's HTML plus JavaScript library that essentially what it does is it applies the best practices on how to load content, how to display content on the browser in a way that's as fast as possible. And this is also, they add like a cache layer in between. That's run by a Google CDN, so like a specific APN content delivery network that will cache the information so it loads as fast as possible.
Yes, finally, Google is trying to monopolize again one new market, okay? And this market is a lot of different companies is providing CDN for web in different format, for computer and for mobile, but Google is trying to generate only one framework for king everyone. Okay?
No, but
it's a good tool. It's open source.
Yeah. First of all, it's an open source project. So despite what all the conspiracy theorists might say,
maybe, and Google is saying the website is going to use AMP is not going to be preference in the Google search algorithm.
And I don't believe that.
I don't believe.
I don't believe it for a very simple reason. The Google PageRank algorithm ranks websites. One of the component of ranking high on the search index is that you load faster than the others.
Officially, Google killed the PageRank name, but finally it's providing better rank and better positions to page that is more quickly searching the browser.
Load quicker, so it makes sense. But then again, they're not alone. So Twitter has signed up with this, and it's implementing APM with Twitter Moments.
So the Twitter moment that you can see at this moment, for example, in your mobile, for different kind of things, is published every day.
Should be should be loaded through APM.
Yes.
We haven't tried it. So, I mean, we've tried it, but we haven't checked the code.
But for example, in the websites,
I can see Twitter Moments on my website.
No.
On my Twitter.
What I do say, I can see the results of pages with AMP searching the mobile at this moment, for example, in Google Spain.
True.
I can see it because what we are going to put the image here, a snapshot about what is doing. For you remember when you are in Facebook app or web and you see a slash or a different signal, a thunder in the web or in the app, is instant articles, and it's similar that it's going to do. Google with the web page with AMP is going to put the same thunder in green, I think.
Blue.
In blue?
I think so.
And the signals AMP. So
this is interesting. So Facebook comes out creates instant articles as a way to monetize or to give access to big brands at first, now any brand, to a nicer UX,
Yes.
if you want to see it like that, for content.
So capture more the attention of the
To
user.
capture and to engage the user.
Maximize the content,
Yeah.
the visualization of the content.
And so Google comes around and says, you know, why don't we do the same,
for everyone.
but for everyone? And that's APM.
Yes. Google is providing
AMP.
the models of JavaScript for integrate
Yeah.
and the cache at this moment.
And anyone can use it, and it's actually interesting that some of the promotional videos and some of the people integrating are, for example, Spanish newspapers
Yes,
like El País. So it seems like the newsrooms are picking up on this as a way to. I think they have the belief, like we do, that if they promote AMP powered news, they will get more featured,
Yes.
or they will get more exposure within Google.
Finally, it's a natural movement for Google. A lot of, if you are a general user, the worst is you need to wait for see one page. I turn back in every web that is trying to make me wait more than 5 seconds, 7 seconds to start to see the content. It's crazy.
So this is the thing, and this is a thought I was just thinking. In the previous episode, we were talking about what should brands expect from the new changes of the algorithms and the news feeds, both on Twitter, on Instagram, on obviously Facebook. And we're talking that to some degree, you need to change your mentality and start thinking about you are always going to need a budget to do distribution of content.
Yes, you need to pay.
Now this AMP thing, and also what's happening right now with Facebook Live, it seems to me that there's like a cost of opportunity in content if you're not on top of this new thing. So there's like, from the moment that these companies, like the current content distributors, gatekeepers. So the gatekeepers, the Instagrams, the Facebooks, which is the same, the Twitters, the Googles. From the moment they release a new feature that enables a new kind of content or empowers distribution channels or things like that, let it be Facebook Live right now or AMP for Google and for everyone implementing this, there's like a small window of opportunity where if you actually jump into that wagon at the right moment, you might build or might get massive exposure because you're one of the first ones doing it, because there's not enough network at that point, and because they're not capping that.
But the problem is you need to catch the moment, and don't is a far shot, because maybe in 6 months
exactly
everything is changing.
Exactly. So we're talking
you
about,
need to pivot again.
So we're talking between a window of opportunity of 6 to 8 months to master this new medium. So the question I have is, how many of the newsrooms, how many of the content departments in the big companies, in any brand, are capable of doing that?
Well,
so
that's the number.
Because I think that's the game right now.
Yes.
It's not just having a budget, it's how do you take advantage of the new stuff that's coming out?
Yeah.
You master it as fast as possible, and you become a reference in that space until they cap it, and you move on to the next big thing.
And hope you move your audience to a new network.
Exactly. Well, yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
If you have, for example, I remember that with Gary Vaynerchuk say, okay, I feel...
What's his last name again?
Hey everybody, this is Gary Vaynerchuk. Vaynerchuk.
We're gonna put this in slow motion.
Finally, it's Gary V. Okay. It's easier. It's more easier. So
it's like Casey. What's his last name?
The last name. Casey Neistat.
Again?
Neistat.
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 Neistat. Casey Neistat.
It's Casey. I remember that Casey explained this. It's Casey Neistat. It's like a tattoo. Okay.
There we go.
The problem for the brands is for moving all the audience. If you have 2 million of subscribers in Twitter and Twitter changed the algorithm, and you are losing the engagement with your audience, and you like to move, for example, to Instagram when Instagram don't apply the algorithms, it's a lot of difficult because not everyone is going to follow you.
Yeah, but how about this? Actually, one of the things that's happening with Snapchat is that the natural jump to Snapchat is coming through Instagram,
Yes.
not through Twitter.
Yes.
Most of it
most
comes
of the people from Instagram.
because the way to locate your profile is with the Snapchat picture of your profile, which is a picture. And what's a natural medium for pictures right now? Instagram. So brands are leveraging their audiences on previous networks to jumpstart the new network. Now I wonder if you do that enough times, then you have like 5 different audiences and 5 different channels that you can use to jumpstart the new medium.
Yeah.
So I'm just
for example, I have the example in my Twitter. The profile image is a Snapchat video code.
Yeah.
For make more easy to the people to
but,
add me.
so,
yeah, Snapchat Alejandro Perez.
So another example. So AMP is one example of this. Facebook Live is another example of this.
Yes.
Everyone is very excited. I don't know if you've actually seen this, but when someone is recording on live, they'll get promoted to the top of your notification list.
What is doing Facebook at this moment? After the last years changing the algorithm and penalizing or doing that the brands pay for catch the audience, what it's doing is, okay, I provide you a live streaming only for some brands and some personalities. I have the opportunity for this, and I'm using actually, and this content is promoted in the top of the news feed for your audience. So if you at this moment like to catch the most number of your audience in Facebook, you need to stream live content.
Yeah, it's interesting because I was recently talking with one of our customers, and they asked me this question: what do you think about Facebook Live? And they said, like, it's amazing. You know, you're getting featured at the top, and you know, people are seeing those recordings in.
And it's easy. It's more easy than Periscope.
Yeah, but this is an interesting thing. Some people, and I do agree with them, are saying that this is a bold move from Facebook to literally dethrone, basically to kick Twitter's ass when it comes to Periscope and Meerkat for that matter.
Quick advice for brands in Facebook. At this moment, we are testing that the articles with a lot of content, long articles, branded in not linked, branded inside Facebook.
Yeah, notes
is providing best position and best engagement with audience.
Yeah.
That the little content post with image or with video. So Facebook is changing something and providing best engagement to the brands of people that is providing a long stories in Facebook.
But this is becoming, it's kind of funny. This is becoming.
It's a last change.
But this is becoming like SEO voodoo magic, but instead of Google and the indexer at Google, it's the Facebook newsfeed.
Yes.
You know, and they're changing like they did with pandas. They're changing the way the algorithm works.
But Google is providing some kind of information you can measure. In Instagram, it's a lot of. In Facebook, it's a lot of difficult.
Yeah, it's very difficult, and it's very.
But at this moment, it's working.
It's very obscure the way that they do it. Now, that being said, and going back to this notion, right now, Facebook Live is getting a lot of attention. They've literally hijacked their newsfeed algorithm so that it gets promoted.
Yes, it's promoted.
Which is kind of, to some degree, it's like unfair competition. So, you know, you screw everyone in your news feed except the things you want people to get hooked to. Then we uncap it. It's the same notion, the same concept I talked about on the previous episode with the notion of it's like a drug dealer. So, you know, I have a controlled distribution of my drug, but when I introduce a new drug into the market, I'm going to give free samples to everyone.
Yes.
And then at one point, I'm going to cap it again.
But at this moment, Facebook is fighting with Snapchat. in the last year tried to buy Snapchat for 2 billion, I think.
Okay.
And the founders of Snapchat say, no, don't worry, I think that the value of the company is more grow. We are going to talk in the future. It's a good shot at this moment. And like Instagram is growing a lot, Facebook is providing or promoting the video for fight with the same kind of people that is providing content. And at this moment, you have 1 billion users in Facebook and not the same number in Snapchat. A lot of people and everyone know how to use Facebook, and a lot of people doesn't understand how to work and how to use Snapchat. This is the not fair fight between Snapchat.
Well, but this is
Facebook.
kind of recapping this because we're nearly out of time. I think the future of content teams is going to be able to take advantage of those windows of opportunity as fast as possible and master those mediums as fast as possible. So instead of creating a dedicated team and saying, we're going to create these guys or have a whole team for Snapchat or a whole team for Vine or a whole team for this, maybe it's worth exploring or having a alternate team which are like the disruptors or the innovators or something like that, and they're the ones in charge of exploring and opening new trails and exploiting those kind of arbitrage situations in the content distribution wars that we're experiencing right now.
So difficult. So we are going to finish here today. We are out of time.
But I'm going to give an advice, some suggestion for this time. I'm going to suggest an app.
What?
I'm a big fan of a website that's called Quartz. It's QZ.com, and they recently released a very interesting app that I believe you still have on your iPhone somewhere, which is mixing.
And it's working with Apple Watch.
Yes, which is mixing messenger apps with news distribution.
Yes, it's very interesting, and it's a very curated content.
It's a very curious experiment, and we tried it several times. And I'm a big fan of what Quartz is doing. And a lot of the things they're doing, actually, it looks very simple, but there's a lot of thought behind it.
Yeah.
And the app is one example of that. I don't know if they've released the app for Android. I know that at the beginning they only had it for iOS. So if you have an iPhone or if you have an iPad, definitely check it out because it's a very interesting experiment on merging messaging apps and news.
Yes, and my advice for today is a book. It's a Gary Vee book. It's
The Who book?
Hey everybody, this is Gary Vee, Nerdchuck.
It's a translation from the Gary Vee Q&A that is doing every week about marketing, trendings, and doubts for entrepreneurs, etc. And it's a good book because it's talking about the last 5 years about marketing, trending, how the network is growing, how you can grow your business, etc. It's an interesting book. This is my advice.
Okay. Well,
we're going to finish here.
We're going to finish here before the beeper starts singing again. Yes. So, guys, it's been a pleasure. Once again, thank you very much to our sponsors at Las Naves for allowing us to record here, for actually making the show happen. Thank you, Alex. Thank you for inviting me here.
Thanks.
And next time, I hope we have better weather and we can have margaritas or something like that.
Maybe a sea.
Something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, we need to do a show on the beach.
Yes, maybe the next.
Yeah, hopefully.
We are going to try.
Okay, guys.
Bye.
See you around. Subscribe to the show. Send us any comments. Send us any features, any new shows that you want to see us doing. Cheers.
See you. Bye.